Greetings, today is March 29th, 2019. My mom has said for years, when she first discovered eBay, she would think of a toy she had as a child in whatever decade, and think of it and say, I'm gonna go look online and see if I can find that. And there would be one listing for it with a buy it now right then. And she said, I feel like that's Satan just still like whispering in my ear, go look for that toy now. So I do a lot of saved searches on eBay, as you've heard me talk about in many videos, but occasionally I'll go, you know what, I'm just gonna check for that thing anyway, and type it in, and lo and behold, there's one listing for it with a buy it now. And so this has arrived. Look at this interesting boxing they did with the corners that are hollow there. I don't know why they did that. But if, as per the auction description, this device is still functional, or devices are still functional, then I'm gonna need some C-cell batteries. And unfortunately, not a lot of things run on C-cell batteries anymore. So I may have to go to the store, or it's spring break. Zach's home. Hey, Zach! What are you doing? Cool. You wouldn't happen to have your Maglite flashlight, would you? Oh, excellent. Is it working? Battery's good? Cool. All right, let me borrow that for a second. Now this thing runs on C-cell batteries, because this one was the one I bought for myself before I went back and got myself a larger one that runs on D-cell. It's only got 3 in there, but we can make do. Maybe I can scrounge up one more. All right, so what's in the box? This would be, it would be hilarious. So this is the wrong box, because it's got 2 packages on the same day. Pretty sure I know which one's which, just from the weight though. Man, this eBay tape is packing. I feel something. Good, 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 good. Okay. Now, this is a toy police car from the 70s and 80s. It looks to be good. It looks like all the chrome is intact. And the battery compartment just popped open. So let's check it out and see if it's functional. And turn the switch, the red switch, from off to on. That's quite noisy. I was not expecting it to be that noisy. Okay, so as you can see, this is a 440 police car manufactured by a company called New Bright. What do you think is significant about this? Why do you think I would be holding up that police car in a Ghostbusters themed video? Do you know that when they shot the scenes for Stay Puft, that his entire environment had to be created around him? So what would that have included?
Police cars?
Yeah, he would have had to have police cars and fire trucks and ambulances and taxi cabs and all this kind of stuff visible in the shot. But as you notice, this thing is white with blue lettering, so that's not correct for a New York City police car. Which is why I was excited about this particular auction, which came with 2. And this, aside from a little discoloration in some places, this is a blue with white lettering New Bright Force 440 police car. And let's check its batteries and hope for the best. What do you think? Push the red switch. Push it all the way down. It's not making the same sound as this one, but anyway, the lights work, which is the important thing. So these are the exact toy of the era that they purchased and used for Ghostbusters. They wanted the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man to be a particular height. Somebody said it should be 100 feet tall. Somebody else said it should be 125 feet tall. So they split the difference. And I think Ivan Reitman just goes, make it 112 and a half feet, please. So they made it 112 and a half, and then they did the math, and they said, well, if it's being worn by a guy in a suit, William Bryan, then it's, 6 feet tall. And to translate 6 feet tall into 112 feet tall, it put it at a really weird scale. And so to make all the props and stuff, this toy car was at about the right scale, and they bought them out. They bought as many of these as they could find, and they chopped them up and they painted them different colors. Matter of fact, you can see that there are some taxi cabs from the movie that were made out of the same body as the police car. Why do you think I was excited about the blue and white? Because the white ones are a lot easier to find. I got this one a couple of weeks back, and it's in pretty messed up condition. It's got some tape holding it together. It's got a lot. Its blue and red lights are gone. A lot of the chrome is broken or missing, and one of the wheels is broken off. And then I got another one for real cheap. I haven't actually tested these two to see if they work though. So I'm gonna take the worst parts of these. Dead. So this one doesn't work, and the one with no wheel doesn't work, and that one does work, but I think this one's a little bit whiter and brighter and shinier, so I may try to put the chassis from this one onto the working electronics of that one, if possible. I don't know. I've never disassembled one, so I don't know. But anyway, the leftover parts, the worst parts from these three white ones are going to combine into a single shell that I don't mind painting yellow and turning into a New York City taxi cab. Okay, so depending on how easy it is to swap out the electronics, here's the game plan. I'm going to take the shell of number 4 and put it onto the better electronics of number 3. I'm going to take the shell of number 2 and put it onto the electronics of number 4, but there's a broken chrome piece on the light bar, so I'll have to swap out the light bars of 2 and 3. And then I'm going to put the shell of 3 onto the electronics of 1, because I'm going to put shell 1 onto electronics 2, which has 4 working wheels, and turn it into a taxi cab. So, look at that beauty. Oh man, that's gorgeous. I mean, it's almost the quality of a model. I can't believe they produced something like that as a toy back in the 70s, 80s. Let me see if I got a production. Made in Hong Kong. I don't see a year though. So I think these were available in the 70s. I know they were still being sold in toy stores in the 80s. So the funny thing is, I've actually been accused by a certain Kiwi that if I would stop buying toys, I could afford to make more prop replicas. But this one counts as both. You know, it's a toy and it's a prop. I mean, they used a toy in the movie, so haha, loophole. All right, Zach, so anything else you want to add before we sign off? Thanks for watching. You stole my line. All right, good job. So I know you're burning up in that. You can go ahead and take it off. Now, there's one more detail that I'm considering doing when I actually put this one on the one with the good electronics or whatever. In Film Comment magazine, which came out in June of 1984, the same month the movie came out. I love this little Gremlins cover here. On page 4, it's got a lovely detail about one of the models used in the movie. I think that's a really funny, subversive dig at, the culture of the time, and kind of saying that the good guys aren't always the good guys, and sometimes they're the bad guys, and yeah, it's I can understand the humor of the era, but at the same time, having had people with addiction issues in my life, I don't know if it's a detail that I'm going to put on there. So I understand it for its 1984-ness of a joke, but I don't know. I'm debating it. So, all right. Well, what he said.